Many people have many different reasons for getting into motorsports. Whether it's a childhood game that sparked a lifelong of memories and nostalgia like Need for Speed, growing up around cars and racing in your family, or loving the competition and adrenaline that it gives, racing has a place for everyone. For me personally, I've always loved and enjoyed cars from a young age. Going to the Monster Jam events and seeing Gravedigger do backflips and crush cars was a very fun and enjoyable part of my childhood. Um, Motorsports is also incredibly diverse. No type of racing or community is like the last, with each having a unique culture, set of rules, and style. The impact that motorsports has had on the world goes beyond just cars. It influences art, design, nationalism, media, and cross-cultural connections. Touching on the no racing is just like the last. You can find a wide variety of different racing types, whether it be the precision of F1 or the wild and extremes of rally car racing, which is whenever you have either off-road or on-road racing through it's basically a track that is not well known, with a co-driver that is giving you a set of instructions. So there's a lot of various factors such as trees and other things. It's a lot of off-road riding. And so there's a lot of different types. So you either have somebody drifting through the forest at 120 miles per hour, or F1 cars going over 200 kilometers an hour on the track with precision timing and extreme engineering. Like I previously mentioned, a lot of people have a natural introduction to motorsports, or many people don't know much about motorsports at all. A lot of people grow up, like I said, around their families, or even with their country has a large motorsports community. So if you either grew up in the UK, Germany, or Spain, you probably have a large access to motorsports culture and grew up around a lot of things like that, because those countries are known and have a historical impact. Kind of what I mentioned previously with nationalism ties into this. So like a lot of countries like the UK will have the historical kind of almost pride in what they've attributed to the motorsports world. In fact, according to motorsportsuk.org, the UK hosts the largest amount of racing events at almost 5,000 each year. This is an insane amount, and the cultural impact of the country is immense. Many people get into motorsports for the pure engineering and technology side, so a little bit nerdier. They might look at like aerodynamics, or try to be very specific on timing or track conditions, weather, engine components. They'll be a little bit more on the car side of things and working on being able to get the most horsepower that they can out of a vehicle. So that's a big appeal to many enthusiasts. And vehicles cross the line of design, art, and are the pinnacle of engineering. As we've seen, that kind of how I mentioned previously with the UK taking a large pride in, the motorsports scene there. I feel like the United States takes a large pride in, the industry, and how we have a lot of hard workers and even people that we may know that grew up working and developing America through the automobile industry. So we take a lot of pride in our cars here, like American muscle cars, things like that. But there's a wide variety of different cultures throughout the world. So, like Italian sports cars, or even JDM cars, like Japanese cars, for example, things like that. There's something for everyone when it comes to that. The shapes and designing the body of a vehicle are about functionality and visual appeal, with many concept sketches taking from popular culture references and even creating some of them. It's almost like it's conveying a visual language. For example, the Rolls-Royce iconic Pantheon grille, which takes inspiration from the ancient Roman timeless architecture of the time, which I think is very interesting. You see a lot of cross-cultural references and just vehicles, and really tapping into that artistic side of things. For me personally, I feel like my role in the community would be when I owned a motorcycle for about a year. That was the first vehicle that I owned, and that kind of got me really into even working on it myself and getting into the scene a little bit more, caring about certain technicalities of things that I was even doing, and kind of getting into that mindset a little bit. Going into events and meeting a lot of people, I felt right at home in the biker community. Whether it was riding with people that were doing stunts like wheelies, or even finding my way randomly into some Orlando kind of Latin events where it's kind of almost a what would I call it, like a distinct kind of Hispanic thing almost, where they kind of take mopeds and trick them out. So you'll find a wide variety of people doing different things with their vehicles throughout the scene.